do I want to start today? Let's start in a child's pose today. So kind of any child's pose that feels good. If you take your knees a little wider, you're going to get a more intense stretch in the hips starting out first thing in the day. Maybe that feels like too much, so you can always bring your knees a little closer. If you're really tight too, you might find that it's helpful to have a blanket or a block to rest your head on. You could also take a blanket underneath, kind of in between your thigh and your calf. And that actually sometimes, just in addition to being a little support, can give you a little bit of a calf stretch, which can feel good. So play around, see where you want to go. And then figure out what you want to do with your arms. They can be reaching overhead, kind of a cactus shape by the sides of your body. Lots of options. Take a nice deep inhale, breathe into the back of the body. So feel those back ribs expand. And then open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go. Ha. Nice deep inhale through your nose. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go. Ha. And then as much as possible, completely relax here. So especially those places in your body where you don't need to be working so hard, soften in those spots. And start to drop into that sound of Ujjayi breath, inhaling through your nose, creating that soft rush of air in the back of your throat. And then exhaling through your nose, so creating that same sound. This sound becomes so important that all of the background noise just drifts away. Until it doesn't, you're gonna notice it. And of course, there's usually a lot of chatter in our minds, so that's pretty typical. Also okay. See if you can, just give yourself moments of letting that go, not having to think about the to-do list, all the stuff that you need to get done, all of the stuff that might be worrying you. Instead, just finding this quiet place inside, slowing down, checking in, giving yourself a little break. We need them. Just another moment or two here. Good, nice deep inhale, full complete exhale. And then you can just lift your forehead up a little bit here, peek forward. We're just gonna thread the eye of the needle here. We're not gonna do it the way we usually do on our tabletop. So just root down into your right palm, thread that left arm underneath. So you're still laying down. You might need to slide a block underneath that left ear. Definitely a little different than we're doing this in our tabletop position. So you're gonna perhaps feel the stretch a little more in that upper left shoulder. And just a really, really subtle twist here. More of that shoulder neck stretch. Good. As you inhale, just come on up. And then root down into your left palm. That arm is extended. Slide that right arm under. The palm can be down or facing up. You can play around and just see how it shifts where you're feeling the stretch. It's a really nice stretch on that tricep, the outer arm. One more deep inhale. Good. As you exhale, unwind, stretch arms forward, rock up, and then let's find a little cat-cow. So shoulders are over your wrists, fingers are spreading, knees under hips. Inhale, arch into your lumbar, chest comes forward through the gates of your shoulders. It's that cobra feeling. As you exhale, really press the mat away, round in. So getting into the upper spine, the thoracic, letting the back of the neck lengthen and release. And just finding this nice little pace. What do you need today? Do you need to move a little faster? Do you need to slow things down, stretch the breath out? So that shifts every time we get on our yoga mats. So always trying to listen to that. Not being attached to the idea that the poses always need to look exactly the same or always be improving, whatever that means. Good, let's inhale, calm up to neutral spine, and then let's go ahead and do that. Thread the eye of the needle again here in our tabletop, and we're just gonna notice how it feels different. So rooting into your right palm, slide that left arm under. And again, maybe you need a block underneath your left ear or even left shoulder, a blanket. Let's stretch our right arm forward. So just bring that arm into downward facing dog, spread the fingers, feel the forearm lift. And see if you can really get that inner arm to wrap towards the outer arm. And then as you press into that palm, maybe you can start to twist your left ribs to the right a little more. If this is a good place to be, stay here. Otherwise, take that right arm off to the side. So wrist is perpendicular to your shoulder, and then start to lift that arm up. So we do start to find more twist in this variation. Perhaps spin your palm to face behind you, bend the elbow, grab a piece of shirt, perhaps bring your fingertips to the inside of your thigh, just finding a little leverage to lean that right shoulder back. So we start to get into the shoulder head. Keep breathing. This looks good, Pamela. And this definitely can be really intense. So always back out a little bit if you need to. For sure gets into the neck and the shoulders where we carry lots of stress and tension. From here, if you took the wrap, go ahead and release. So reach those right fingertips up towards the ceiling. Good, and then as you exhale, you unwind. So just coming back to that tabletop, you can check your alignment. Then we take that second side. So you root down into your left palm, thread that right arm underneath. So lowering onto the shoulder and the ear, maybe with a little support. Side to side, this can be really different. Good, and then stretch left fingertips forward as though you're coming into downward facing dog. Engage that arm a lot. Feel the inner arm wrap towards the outer arm. Beautiful. And then you can already, with that rooting down sensation, start to spin those right ribs to the left a little bit. Stay here like this if this feels good, if you're getting a nice stretch. Otherwise, start to walk that left arm out perpendicular to the shoulder. And then start to lift up. Lean back, feel open. Externally rotate. So spin the palm to face behind you. Bend the elbow. And then grab a piece of shirt, piece of pants, maybe fingertips to the inside of your right thigh, just finding a little leverage to spin your chest open. And you're gonna feel this nice stretch on this left shoulder head. Check in with your breath again. Have you lost it? So we do. It's hard to keep remembering all of the things. So it's just kind of periodically checking in with that. From here, inhale, stretch that left arm up if you're in the wrap. And then as you exhale, unwind, back in your tabletop. Couple more rounds of cat-cow. Inhale, chest extends forward. Maybe you're feeling a little more openness. It might be subtle. As you exhale, press the mat away, round in. Couple more, moving with your breath. Good, so let's get into the toes a little bit today. So as you inhale, come up to your tabletop position, curl your toes under. You're gonna reach back, tuck that pinky toe, the little baby under, and then you're gonna sit back here. And again, maybe you need to sit on a block if you're a little tighter in the front of the leg or if it's really intense in the toes. And I'm going to distract us for just a moment. So we're going to inhale, take our arms out wide. Good. Give yourself a little hug here. We're going to take the right arm on top. Good. You can come into your full eagle arm. So back to the hands press or palms press, or you can stay here. Start to lift the elbows up. Maybe bring your gaze up. Good. Inhale, stretch arms out. Exhale, switch sides. So left arm on top. Elbows start to lift. Release your shoulder blades down towards your tailbone. Again, you can be in any variation here. Ooh. Inhale, open up. Ha. All right, return to your tabletop. And you're going to want to wiggle out your ankles. So just circle around there. Wiggle out the toes. Oh, that's intense to do, but it's good to do. All right, so from here, let's inhale, shift forward. So shoulders come slightly ahead of your wrists. Keep your belly lifted as you exhale, elbows bend an inch, maybe two. Gaze forward, back of the neck nice and long. Hover here, keep breathing. Feel the sides of your body engage, feel the outer hips squeeze in towards each other. And amazingly, this is very hard. Land on your belly in one piece. Tops of the feet press. Rolling or pressing into all 10 toenails. Let's reach our arms by our side. So palms face in towards each other. You can just rest on your forehead here for a minute. So not even a minute, for a second. Fire up the legs, feel the inner thigh spiral up towards the ceiling. And then as you inhale, keep anchoring down into the feet, into the hip bones, the pubic bone, head, chest, extend forward and up. You can lift your arms up off your mat. Breath smooth and steady. As you inhale, send your breath to the upper chest. Feel a little lift. So such great poses when we're on our belly doing these back bends for strengthening the muscles in our back. As you exhale, lower down. Just take a moment here, rest. And then let's do that again. So as you inhale, head, chest, extend forward and up. Arms lift up. See if you can squeeze your shoulder blades in towards each other a little more on your back. Lift those shoulder heads a little higher. And then maybe you lift your legs up. If you go there and it puts a lot of sensation in your lower back, you place them back down. Nice work. Try to lift the lower body, the upper body evenly. Notice which feels easier for you. These look great. Feet down, anchor, bend your elbows, fingertips underneath your shoulder heads. As you exhale, roll down. Inhale, spiral up. So you're not using your hands to help you here. Exhale, lower. Inhaling up. One more, exhale, lower down. Inhale up. Good, holding here, gaze soft and gentle in front of you. All right, let's curl our toes under. Fire up the legs. So your shins, your knees are lifting up off the mat. Maybe the lower upper leg is lifting up a little bit. We're gonna press into our hands here and pull back to downward dog. So lead with your hips. You don't have to pass through that plank pose. Just move towards your dog. If you need to use your knees, that's okay. And then let's take a nice deep inhale here in our first downward dog. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go. Ha. Good. So neck is nice and relaxed. It's lengthening. You're just gazing between your feet with your hips distance apart. Second and third toe point forward. So that's a nice little alignment kind of check-in. Fingers are spreading. As you start to spread the fingers, you firm the forearms in towards each other. You feel the upper arms begin to engage and activate. Let's inhale, shift forward into our plank pose. Good. So coming way forward on your toes, keep your legs this active. You can lower to your knees again if you'd like. As you exhale, elbows bend an inch, maybe two, no more than halfway. So we don't want the shoulders to dip down below the elbows. As you exhale, lower down onto your belly. Tops of the feet press. As you inhale, chest extends forward into your low cobra. Welcome to stay here. If you're still needing to warm up your back a little more, if you're ready for an up dog, drag the hands back. Wrists are underneath your elbows. As you inhale, press into the tops of your feet. Your legs are still really active here. Press the shoulder heads back. Feel that openness across your heart and chest. Gaze slightly forward, smile. And then we make our way back to our downward facing dog. And nice and easy, we're going to start to walk our feet forward to meet our hands. So land with feet about hips distance apart. It's that same stance that we had in our dog. As you inhale, chest lengthens forward. This first one, you might have hands on shins or thighs. Good. As you exhale, you fold in. And then root down into your feet. Stretch arms out and up. As you exhale, hands come together at your hearts. So just starting to find a little flow, moving into our half sun salutes. Inhaling, reaching. Let this feel really good. As you exhale, fold in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold back into your Uttanasana. Press down, feel your arches lift. They carry you all the way up, finding lots of space. Exhaling, hands come together at your heart. 2 more on your own. Just follow along. Close your eyes if that feels good. Maybe smiling a little bit. I think it's really hard not to when I do these, even if I'm having a really bad day or my body feels really tired. There's just something about moving into these sun salutes that's it's kind of sunny. It just makes us feel good. Our body, our brain remembers it and recognizes it. So it's like a little dopamine hit. Really connects us with the breath, with the movements. Good, nice work. Let's just release our arms by our side here. Stretch your right arm up. Use your left hand to help wrap that arm in and then bend the elbow. And then just take your left hand on top. Press down, just getting into that tricep again. Notice if you start to puff the ribs forward, the booty back, make sure that you're feeling the sides of your waist squeeze in. You're standing nice and tall, so you're feeling really supported. Good. Inhale, kind of stretch your arms out at an angle. And then exhale, release. Take this left arm up. And then finding that internal rotation. So you can just use your right hand to help wrap in. See if you can hold on to that action as you bend your elbow. And then you can take your right hand on top. So again, feeling this nice stretch in the tricep area. Might be feeling it in the shoulder, back of that left scapula. Breath smooth and steady, gaze soft and gentle out in front of you. All right, let's inhale, find that little diagonal stretch. As you exhale, arms release by your side. Let's inhale, stretch the arms up, interlace the fingers, press your palms up towards the ceiling. Good. As we exhale, we're gonna side bend to the right. Inhale up to center. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale up to center. As you exhale, you release, fingers fold in, Uttanasana. Inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. Keep your right foot forward, step your left foot way back. Feet about hips distance apart, land on that left knee. Just a few breaths here. So slide that left knee back as far as you need to in your body so that you feel that stretch on your hip flexor. Hands could always be on blocks here, especially if you're a little tighter. Keep breathing. This is a big stretch, big muscle. It's intense. All right, hands come up to your right thigh. So you're directing your tailbone down, you're lengthening through the sides of your waist. Inhale, arms reach up into our crescent pose. And then let's bring our right fingertips to our left wrist. Keep squeezing hips in towards each other as you lean off to the right. So little side stretch. As you're doing this, can you wrap these right ribs up and keep your shoulder blades sliding down your back? Definitely a little balance pose. You're going to notice that front foot kind of wobbling back and forth. Notice if you're gripping your toes. See if you can stretch them out and just place them down. All right, inhale up to center. As you exhale, hands press down. Curl your left toes under. So fire up that leg. Be on your fingertips here. Good. Inhale. Take your arms out wide like airplanes. So you're nice and low, but you're not laying your belly on that front thigh. So little core work here. Stretch the arms forward. So ears are in line with your biceps, your inner arm. Nice. As you exhale, hands plant. Step your right foot to meet your left foot. Take an inhale here. Working the legs, working the glutes. Shift forward, lower halfway, hover, maybe on your knees. Inhale into your low cobra or your upward facing dog. As you exhale, pull back, downward facing dog. Inhale, hips stay even. Lift that left leg. As you exhale, step that foot through. Good, land on your right knee. So nice big hip flexor stretch here. If you're a little more open, you're gonna slide that knee further back. For those of us that are a little tighter, we are gonna bring the floor closer to us. It's not cheating, it's smart. And then you're noticing, how does this side feel different in my body? Does it feel different? Can I go in a little deeper? Do I need to back off a little bit? Am I forcing? And then coming to that breath again, making sure that that inhale and exhale are nice and even. All right, so let's start to upright ourselves here. And if you feel unsteady as you do this, just walk that left foot off to the left, direct tailbone down, feel the sternum lift up. Inhale, arms reach out. And then left fingertips come to your right wrist. Squeeze the outer hips in as you lean off to the left. So spin those left ribs up. You're gonna be feeling this really great stretch on the right side of your body. Keep those shoulder blades squeezing in towards each other and releasing down your back. And then let's inhale up to center. So we're gonna release our hands down. We're gonna curl our right toes under. Firm that thigh up so it's really pressing up towards the ceiling. We're nice and low, but we're not laying down on that left leg. Inhale, arms out wide. Feel the shoulder heads lift, the shoulder blades squeeze in towards each other. Your gaze is just soft and gentle in front of you. Stretch the arms forward. So a little core work here. You're gonna feel a little grip in that outer left hip. And then release your hands down. Step your right foot to meet your left foot at the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold in. Root into your feet. Stretch your arms out and up. Nice work. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. Inhaling, reaching up. Interlace your fingers, but go the way that feels a little funny this time. So do the opposite one and then start to press your palms up towards the ceiling. Deep inhale. Exhale, side bend left. Inhale to center. And exhale, side bend right. Inhale up to center. Keep all of this length and space as you exhale, hinge forward, fold in. Inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward, left foot stays forward. Step your right foot way back. All right, lower onto that right knee. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. And then we're gonna do cactus arms as we exhale. And you can kind of press the elbows back. Nice deep inhale here. And like you're moving through molasses, we're gonna fly the arms. So exhale, squeeze in. Inhale, open up. Your lower belly is pulling in, your tailbone is releasing down. Exhale, press in. Good, and then inhale, open up. It's like you're getting ready to give somebody a big bear hug. If we remember what that is anymore, exhale, squeeze in. Inhale, open up. Good, just hold here. Start to bring your gaze up and then extend arms up overhead. Maybe press palms in towards each other. As you exhale, curl right toes under, firm that thigh up. Engage the belly, inhale. Arms come like airplane wings. Exhale, they stretch overhead. Take a deep inhale here. And then exhale, plant your palms, step your left foot to meet your right foot. Inhale in your plank pose, using all the muscles in your body. Exhale, lower halfway, hover, or all the way down. Inhale into your low cobra or upward facing dog. Nice work. As you exhale, downward facing dog. Hips stay even. Inhale, lift your right leg. Exhale, step that foot through between your hands, land on your left knee. And then we inhale, come into this low crescent. So make sure that you have enough space, you feel steady. Start to cactus your arms on that exhale. Shoulder blades are releasing down, squeezing in. Nice deep inhale. And then exhale, press in. So really engage the muscles. Inhale, open up. Good, exhale, squeeze in. Inhale, press back, open up. One more. Exhale, pressing in. And then inhale, open up. Couple of breaths here, feeling that openness, that stretch across your heart, releasing your tailbone down. Start to bring your gaze up. And then reach your arms up overhead. Maybe vigorously press your palms together. As you exhale, hands frame that right foot. Curl those left toes under. Use your belly. Inhale, arms come out wide. Exhale, stretch them up overhead. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, plant your palms. Step your left foot to meet your right foot at the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, you fold in. Inhale, press into your feet. Stretch arms out and up. Good, as you exhale, hands come together at your heart. All right, at this time as we inhale, knees bend, arms reach up, Uttanasana chair pose. Just hold this for a few breaths. You can take your arms as wide as you need to so that you can bring those elbows to straight. Weight is mostly in the heels, so you're it's like you're getting ready to sit into a chair. Breath smooth and steady, and you're gonna be feeling some heat in this pose. It's not easy. You're gonna feel a lot of sensation in the top of the leg. Love it. From here, as we exhale, we hinge forward, fold in. Inhale, lengthen. All right, so keep your gaze forward, bend your knees, plant your palms, step your right foot back, then your left foot. Here we are in our plank pose, taking an extra inhale. Exhale, shift forward on toes. Modify as you need, so you can come to knees or full chaturanga. You can hover or come all the way down. Inhale into the back bend of your choice. Beautiful, Pamela. As you exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts, hips stay even. Exhale, step that foot through. Keep your left toes curled under this time. Inhale, we rise up into our Virabhadrasana 1, our crescent pose. As we exhale, hands come down to the mat. Keep your gaze forward, hips low. Step to your plank pose. Stretch out this exhale as you move through your chaturanga vinyasa. Use your legs a lot in that chaturanga and also in your back bend. Inhale, lift that left leg. Exhale, step that foot through. Go to strong legs. Carry you up to crescent pose on your inhale. Beautiful work. As you exhale, hands come down. Hips stay low. Step to your plank. Lower halfway, hover, or all the way down. Keep the shoulder heads lifting wherever you're at. Inhaling into your back bend. As you exhale, downward facing dog. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose here. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go, ha. And then as you inhale, find a little bend in your knees, come to your tippy toes. Think light thoughts, peek where you're going. End of your exhale, step right then left, hop both feet through, or you can walk forward. So whatever makes the most sense for you. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold in. As you inhale, knees bend, arms reach up, Katasana, chair pose. All right, so let's stay here. If your feet aren't hip distance apart, get them there. Okay, so notice how both hips are facing forward. We want to hold on to that. As we exhale, we're going to bring our palms to heart center. All right, so this is where the hips get a little tricky. So imagine that there's a wall behind you that you're pressing your sit bones into. As you exhale, just start to twist from this lowermost left rib. So if you keep those sit bones pressing back, you might not twist as far as you might normally. So just stay here like this, really vigorously pressing palms together. Maybe you hinge forward and see if you can get that left elbow to the outside of that right thigh. And then again, really press that right palm down into the left palm. Notice if that left hip has crept forward quite a bit, draw it back. Finally, if you'd like to split your arms here for a breath or two, just find a place to gaze at that feels good and easy in your body. You could be looking up. One more deep inhale. Exhale, unwind, straighten your legs. Just let your head hang forward. Notice if you're gripping. So really let the back of the neck lengthen. It's harder to do than it seems like it would be. All right, here we go, second side. So as you inhale, start to bend your knees. So weight comes to your heels, stretch your arms up. Good, feel these outer hips squeeze in, feel the glutes fire up. As you exhale, palms come to heart center. You're pressing vigorously. Then just imagine that you're pressing your buns into a wall behind you. Deep inhale. Exhale, twisting from that lowermost right rib. We're just moving the upper body as much as possible. So try to resist letting that right hip come along for the ride. This might be plenty. You could just stay here. If you want to hinge forward, see if you can bring that right elbow to the outside of your left thigh. You're welcome to do that. Keep lengthening through this right side of your waist. Vigorously pressing palms to heart center wherever you're at. And then finally, if you would like to split your arms here, you're welcome to do that. So all of these variations, they're just options. One is not better than the other. Some days we want a little more juice, some days we need a little less. Check in with your breath. Is it getting ragged? Find that inhale through your nose, that exhale through your nose. Good. As you exhale, just unwind. Again, hang forward here. And then let's actually just bring the hands to the backs of your legs, your calves. And then maybe as you press there, you can fold in a little deeper. You can always take a little bend in your knees to do this. Good, and then just release your hands. Do find a little bend in your knees and slowly start to roll up. One vertebra at a time. All right, so from the tops of our mat, as we inhale, knees bend, arms reach up, Katasana, chair pose. As you exhale, hinge forward, fold in Uttanasana. Inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Options here. You step back left and right into your plank pose, or you simply step back left and right into your downward facing dog. So if you want more heat, you take those chaturanga vinyasas. If you're feeling a little cooked, you skip them. They're both really good. From here, we're gonna inhale, lift our right leg up. As we exhale, we're gonna step that right foot through. So finding our crescent pose again, make sure that your legs are hips distance apart. So rising up. Good. As you exhale, you're gonna take your arms out to the side. We're gonna give ourselves a hug. We're gonna take the left arm underneath. So elbows stack here. Backs of the hands can press, maybe palms press. Then we're gonna inhale, wherever you're at, elbows lift. Exhale, they release down. So just kind of opening up the backs of the shoulders. Inhale up. Good, exhale, release. And then inhale up. So holding here. Breath smooth and steady. Maybe bend that front leg a little deeper. All right, so we're gonna step our left foot forward to meet that right foot. We're gonna come into a chair pose in our legs. So as you exhale, don't overthink it, and you can adjust as you get there. All right, deep inhale. As you exhale, start to twist to the right. Might not be very deep, it's harder with the arms like this. So keep pressing hips back into that imaginary wall. You can just see how my left hip came forward quite a bit. And then if you wanted to, hinge forward, hook elbow to that, so left elbow to the outer right leg. You're welcome to do so. You can also be a little higher. Good, deep inhale. As you exhale, just hinge forward, unwind, release the hands. Inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. Bend your knees, plant your palms. So step right foot back, then left into your plank pose or into your downward facing dog. Nice work, everyone. As we inhale, we lift our left leg. As we exhale, we step that foot through. Good, strong legs. Carry you up into your crescent pose on your inhale. Good, exhale, arms come out wide. We're gonna take the right arm underneath. So give yourself a little hug here, elbows stack. We're gonna just floss out the shoulders. So inhale, elbows lift. It's the only thing that's changing. Exhale, they release down. Inhale up. Good, exhale, come on down. Inhale up. Good, exhale, release down. And then we're gonna inhale, lift up. Couple of breaths here. Feel your sternum, your heart shining up towards the ceiling. And then feel the heaviness in that left foot. We wanna step our right foot forward. We're gonna find our chair pose. So do that as you exhale. Don't overthink it. You can peek down, make any little adjustments that you need to. All right, so press the sit bones back nice and even. As we exhale, we start to wrap lowermost right ribs to the left. You could just stay here like this. Maybe you hinge in, bringing that right elbow to the outside of the left thigh. And again, your arms can be in any variation. Breath smooth and steady. Gaze at a place that feels good. It might be up over that left shoulder. It might just be simply out in front of you. When we're deep inhale, as you exhale, you unwind, hinge forward, take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out, ha. All right, and then with a little bend in your knees, slowly begin to roll up. One vertebra at a time, so we're almost there. When you get up, just roll your shoulders back. And then just allowing your shoulder blades to release down your back. As you inhale, arms are reached out and up. As you exhale, hinge forward, fold in. Inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. Again, options here. If you want more heat, you step to your plank, take a chaturanga. Otherwise, you step back left, right into your downward facing dog. Good. As we inhale, we lift our right leg up. Exhale, step that foot through. So we come back into our crescent pose on our inhale. As you exhale, take your arms out wide. So we're gonna give ourselves a hug, left arm underneath. So you can stay here, backs of the hands can press. palms compress. All right, feel your lower belly pull in and up. Keep lifting those elbows. So before you even make the move in your body, start to put the weight in your front foot in your brain. And then we're gonna lift that back leg up, wrap it up and over. Good, so outer thighs squeeze in a lot, inner thighs squeeze in. Few of us might be able to reach our toes around that back leg. Doesn't matter if that happens. Huge balance pose, so if you fall out, no big deal. And then finally here, if you would like to hinge forward, fold in so elbows might come to that front knee. All right, we're gonna inhale, come on up. We're gonna fly it all away. Whew. Take a couple of breaths here. I always get a little head rush coming out of that pose. All right, so one more side. The hard stuff is almost done. These are looking really good. Okay. I went on a walk at Barr Lake this week and I saw about 5 eagles. So that's the inspiration here. As we inhale, arms reach up. As we exhale, hinge forward, fold in. Inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. So this is your big moment for another Chaturanga Vinyasa if you want one. Otherwise, I would just suggest stepping to a downward facing dog because we've been working really hard. Good, as you inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step that foot through so we're feeling really strong, really good in these crescent poses. Rise up on your inhale. So you have a nice deep bend in that left knee. As you exhale, arms come out wide. Give yourself a hug, right arm underneath. So elbows stacking, backs of the hands pressing, palms pressing, elbows lift, shoulder blades release down. Gaze soft and gentle out in front of you. So let's actually close our eyes this time, and I want you to just see yourself gracefully wrapping that right thigh over that left thigh. Open your eyes. And now we're gonna make it happen, so don't overthink it. Start to shift weight into the heel of that left foot. Keep that deep bend. Come up and over. And when you get there, outer hip squeeze in a lot, inner thighs squeeze in a lot. Lower belly pulls in and up, really nice, Pamela. And then we're gonna start to hinge forward here if you want to, otherwise you just stay upright. It's our little crouching eagle. And if you took that crouch, start to come on up, fly it all away. Hallelujah. We're done with that. So just come into your mountain pose. Close your eyes. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. And then open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go. Ha. Check in, what's going on? So I'm feeling a lot of heat. Heart is beating faster. And these are actually good things, so enjoy those sensations. All right, so blink your eyes open. As you inhale, stretch your arms out and up. Come up to your tippy toes, which is surprisingly hard. So again, we're just kind of getting to the toes a little bit here. Pull your belly in and up, feel your glutes fire up. And then think knees squeezing together as you start to slowly bend down. My legs are shaking a lot here. And we're gonna come all the way to the floor. We're gonna try to do it pretty smooth. There's gonna be a place where you kind of do the plop, that's okay. And let's come onto our back and set up for a couple back bends here. Have a block close by. We'll do a round of restorative eventually. So ankles underneath your knees, maybe even slightly ahead. So you're giving yourself some space in this pose. Arms by your side. Take an inhale, just notice how there's a natural curve in your lumbar. As you exhale, I want you to start to press into your feet, direct your tailbone forward, and then lift up. Inhale, stretch your arms up overhead. And then as you exhale, slowly lower everything down. Inhale, notice that natural curve. Exhale, lose the curve, direct your tailbone forward, press into your feet, lift up. Inhale, stretch arms up overhead. Exhale, everything lowers down. One more like that. So inhaling, nice and easy, body's just in an easy shape. As you exhale, direct tailbone forward, so you lose that curve, you press into your feet, lift up. Inhale, stretch your arms up overhead. This time as you exhale, keep pressing into your feet, but release your arms by your side. Grab the outer edges of your mat. You can interlace fingers underneath you. Wherever you're at, you're just snuggling the shoulder blades underneath you so you get a little more openness across your heart and chest. And then we're just taking a few breaths here. Observe if you are rolling to the outer edges of your feet. It's very common to do that in our pose or in this pose. You can be feeling pretty intense stretch here in the knees. So again, maybe you need to walk your feet slightly forward. It's look good. And then really send the breath, the inhale into your upper chest. Feel that lift and that expansion. One more deep inhale. Good. As you exhale, release the mat, release your hands, slowly lower your hips down. Just take a couple of breaths here. All right, so bring your arms by your side. So they're squeezing in, and then you're gonna point your fingers up towards the ceiling, bend your elbows. So we're coming into our robot arms. And before you even press into your feet, you can actually start to snuggle the elbows under, or the shoulders underneath you a little more, so you feel that openness across your heart and chest. As you inhale, root down into that upper arm, press into your feet, starts to lift your hips up. And then you can adjust again. From here, walk your feet, so heel toe them together. Root down in to your left foot. Inhale, bend the right knee and really press into those upper arms, and then extend that right leg up towards the ceiling. You can flex the foot, you can point the toes, whatever feels good. You can kind of split the difference, do a little Barbie foot. Deep inhale. Exhale, release that foot down. Inhale, hips lift nice and even. We want to hold on to that even when we're doing the one-legged version of this. So press down into those upper arms. As you inhale, left knee bends in, and then that leg extends. Then you press down into that right foot. Feel that right hip lift. Breath smooth and steady. Good. As you exhale, release that foot down. Inhale, hips lift. And then exhale, lower. And then just find your block here. And we're going to come into a quick little supported bridge pose with the option to take this into a supported shoulder stand. So press into your hips. Slide that block underneath your sacrum. The tendency is to get it in the lumbar, so a little too high. So it will feel pretty comfortable and stable when you've got that block in the right spot. And let's take a deep inhale. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go. Ha. And then consciously start to shift your breath, let it slow down now. Kind of lengthen out. And if this feels like a good place to be, you stay here. Otherwise, you keep your sacrum pressing into the block, bend one knee in, bend the other, and then extend your legs up towards the ceiling. If you're a little tighter in the hamstrings, you'll probably have a bend in the knees. Good. And sometimes we pull the legs too close towards our chest. So you're just lining up with your ankles over your hips. And you're going to feel some pressure in those shoulders, those shoulder blades, hence the name shoulder stand. And again, as you inhale, can you really fill all the way up and feel that lift of your sternum? Your eyes might be closed here. You might just be gazing at your feet or up at the ceiling. Really consciously shifting gears. So we're in wind down mode after working really hard. All right, deep inhale. Exhale, release your feet down to the mat if you are in your shoulder stand. Then on your next inhale, press into your feet, lift the block out from underneath you, and then just lower your hips down. And we're gonna come into eagle pose in our legs again. So we're gonna do the reclining version just to get into our hips. And we all know that this seated version is pretty challenging. It's pretty challenging here too, but it might be a little more accessible. So let's cross our right thigh over our left thigh. All right, you're gonna bend your knees in, and then you're gonna take your feet out wide. You're either gonna pull in on your lower legs, so the shins. You might be able to grab the outer edges of your feet. Sometimes that just has to do with how you're built. And just using that leverage of your arms to help pull your knees in towards your chest any amount. It might not be very, very much. And this definitely does get into a really interesting place in the hips. Kind of, it feels really different to me than our single pigeon or our double pigeon. It's a little more sensation, a little more subtle sensation. So you're just observing what's going on in your body. Good, let's take one more deep inhale. And then exhale, release. So let's keep this right thigh crossed over our left. Take your arms out in a T shape. Press into your left foot, lift your hips up, and then scooch them off to the right. And then we're just gonna come into a little twist here. So the knees are gonna fall off to the left. And if this doesn't feel good with the legs crossed, for some of us, this is just way too intense. You simply uncross so that right knee is stacking on top of left. You are gazing straight up at the ceiling here or out over your right fingertips, whatever feels best. Good. Inhale, come on up to center. And just square off the hips, uncross the legs. And then we do that little sequence to the second side. So left thigh crosses over right thigh. Bend your knees in, take your feet out wide. This side might feel different. So you again can grab the outer edges of your feet. Maybe you're grabbing ankles. It can be higher on the leg. Gently pressing in, feeling that stretch. So really nice, especially on that outer left hip. I'm actually still getting some on the right as well in the glute. The breath smooth and steady. Good, one more deep inhale. Exhale, release. So just keep the legs crossed like this. Press that right foot down into the mat, arms out in a T shape. So lift hips up, shift them to the left, and then drop knees to the right. And again, if the legs crossed, it doesn't feel good in your body. Sometimes it can be a little too grippy in the lumbar, the lower back. You simply uncross and just stack knees on top of each other. Gaze can come up towards the ceiling. You can roll onto your left cheek, looking out over those left fingertips, whatever feels good for you. And we're not there quite yet, but just find Savasana in this pose already. You're already giving yourself permission to unwind, to chill out, to soak up all of the hard work we've done. As you inhale, knees come up to center, uncross the legs. So square your hips, hug in, give yourself one final little squeeze here. And then go ahead and make your way into your final resting pose. So extend legs out, taking a little support underneath your knees. If there is any tension in your lower back, maybe snuggling your shoulder blades underneath you. You don't have to do anything here. Simply melt in, relax, Savasana. Take a deeper inhale here. Let the breath go. Ha. And start to wiggle fingers, toes, circle ankles, wrists, stretch arms up overhead. Bringing a little movement, a little awareness back to your body. Good, and then staying soft and gentle, roll to one side or the other. Just find that fetal position. Good, and then you're going to use your hands to press up to a comfortable seat. You're going to check in here one final time. Notice how you feel differently than when you started. Send yourself love and gratitude for showing up and working hard. And then just promise that you're going to carry a little of this feeling with you into the rest of the day ahead. Bring your palms together at your heart. Bow your head with a smile. Beautiful work today. Thank you. Good to see all of you. Namaste.